20 Best Places to Visit in France. It seems almost impossible to pick the best places to visit in France. In a country with some of the most famous landmarks in the world, how do you narrow down the list? Don't worry, we know it's hard, so we've done the research for you so you can just pick your favorites and plan your trip. From some of the world's best museums to stunning beaches to vineyards and buzzing cities, France really does have something for everybody. Keep reading for a great selection of the best hiking trails, shorelines, city breaks, and more. 1. Versailles Palace. This former royal residence less than 20 kilometers from Paris should be in your list of top places to visit in France. Although the Versailles Palace was originally a small hunting lodge back in the early 1600s, it was soon rebuilt as a chateau and eventually a palace. Between 1682 and 1789, it was also France's government seat. The palace is a massive construction of over 2,300 rooms, not all open to the public, surrounded by almost 2,000 acres of beautifully manicured gardens. The royal apartments, the Salon of Diana, Louis XIV's billiards room, the golden private apartments of the King and Queen, and the stunning Hall of Mirrors are all must-sees inside the palace. Check out the different Versailles tickets price to make sure the areas you want to visit. 2. Mont Saint Michel. One of the best Normandy tours from Paris is a trip to Mont Saint Michel, a tidal island off the coast of Normandy. During low tide, it's possible to walk across the bridge or take a shuttle bus to the island, but once you cross the admission gates, walking is the only option. There's also no way to get in or out of the island during high. In fact, there's only one main road on the island, which goes through a tiny village, where you can grab a bite to eat and some souvenirs, and then up towards the Gothic-style Benedictine Abbey complex. 3. Loire Valley Castles. The Loire Valley has the densest concentration of castles in France, over 300 of them, including ruins, small fortresses, and beautifully preserved chateaux. Some of the best Loire Valley castles to visit include the Château de Chambord and the Château de Chenonceau. The Château de Chambord is considered the king of all the castles here. Built in the early 16th century, it's a stunning French Renaissance structure is elaborated, home to a very unique double spiral staircase, and open for tours. The privately owned Château de Chenonceau is the second most visited chateau in the country, after the Palace of Versailles. Other must-see castles in the valley include the 16th-century Château de Chenonceau, built on a bridge crossing the River Cher, the very Disney-like Château de Chaumont-sur-Loire, and the stunning Château of Amboise, which started life as a fortress. 4. Paris. With so many things to do in Paris, it's hard to pick just a few favorite ones. The City of Lights is one of the most popular places to visit in France, home to the Louvre Museum. Are you an art lover? Check the best museums in Paris: the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, and the Notre Dame Cathedral. Once you've visited the best Paris attractions, however, there's still much more to see. Paris' romantic and cultural atmosphere, its great café culture and high-quality gastronomy all add up to its charm as well. You'll find farmers' markets sitting next door to Michelin-starred restaurants, and great flea markets sharing the spotlights with big names like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and Dior. 5. Saint Tropez. No other place in France says glamour like Saint Tropez. The most famous, and expensive, place to visit on the French Riviera, Saint Tropez is the perfect destination to enjoy exclusive beach clubs, see massive yachts, and cross paths with the rich and famous. Move away from the beach and you'll also get to experience the old-world ambience that makes this place unique, complete with the historic viewport and harbor, typical Provençal market squares, olive groves, and cobblestone streets. Lively and busy during the summer months, Saint Tropez is a great culinary destination as well as a great place to enjoy the nightlife. 6. Orléans. Orléans was where young Joan d'Arc helped lead the army that defeated the English and broke their siege on the city. It was also the place where she was captured and put on trial. Today, her memory is alive in many places around the city, including a museum in her honor and the Joan of Arc Center created in the home where she once lived. Every spring, a festival in her honor takes over the streets with special reenactments and attractions. While here, visit Les Halles Châtelet for all your shopping needs and stop by the Place du Martroi Square to see Joan d'Arc's bronze statue. The 17th century Cathedral of St. Croix and the Château de Chambord just outside the city are also beautiful places worth a visit. 7. Arras. Located in northern France, historic Arras is a destination filled with chateaux, the spectacular Grand Place and d'Arros, two ancient market squares surrounded by shops and restaurants, and Flemish Baroque architecture. Arras was a major battle site during World War I. This led to heavy damage in the city and left behind a number of landmarks that continue to tell that story. The Carrière Wellington Museum, created in the underground quarry tunnels used by soldiers to move and hide during war, is located 22 meters underground and it's a must-see. The World War I British Cemetery is worth visiting, and so is the 17th century Vauban Citadel, now designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. 8. Saint Emillion. The Romans were already producing wine around Saint Emillion in the 3rd century BC, and that tradition continues today. World-famous red wine wineries and chances to tour beautiful vineyards are the main reasons to visit, but not the only ones. A charming medieval village in the Bordeaux region, Saint Emillion is home to a 12th century monolithic church and an underground complex consisting of tunnels, caves, and catacombs. Exploring the local markets, wine, cheese, and traditional local macaroons will be available. Hike the village surroundings, and walk out to the foot of the bell tower for amazing views over the town. 9. Lille. Located just a few kilometers from the border with Belgium, Lille has strong Flemish roots. This is quite obvious in the architecture of the city, especially around the main square. A Vieille Bourse, Old Stock Exchange, and the Palais des Beaux-Arts are both worth a visit to see some art, people watch, and find some book treasures. If you're visiting in September, don't miss out La Braderie, Europe's largest flea market in Europe with over 10,000 sellers offering everything from antiques and collectibles to clothing, home decor, and great food. Lille is also the birthplace of General Charles de Gaulle, who led France in the fight against Nazi Germany in World War II. His childhood home in Lille is now a museum. 10. Disneyland Paris. Looking for the best places to visit in France with kids? Disneyland Paris is a two-park complex, Disneyland Park and Walt Disney Studios, covering an impressive 4,800 acres. Located just 20 kilometers outside Paris, the complex also hosts 7 Disney hotels, a golf course, and a shopping and dining area known as Disney Village. Disneyland Park is modeled after the US-based parks and is divided into 5 zones, including Frontierland, designed as an American West mining town, Fantasyland, where the Sleeping Beauty Castle is located, and Discoveryland, which features attractions based on discoveries and inventions by famous European like Jules Verne and Leonardo da Vinci. Walt Disney Studios Park celebrates films and show business, offering an insight into the world of Disney and Pixar's animated characters. For cheap Disneyland Paris tickets, always book in advance. You'll save money and can get access to extras like skip-the-line benefits. 11. Pyrenees. Sitting right on the border between France and Spain, the Pyrenees mountain range is an inspiring natural destination. From snow-covered mountains to alpine forests and glacial lakes to dramatic peaks and valleys, this is a destination that has it all. Alpine skiing and climbing are both popular here, and so are hiking and bicycling. Parts of the Tour de France race crisscross through the Pyrenees. For those who want to go the distance, there are special trails here. The famous Haute Randonnée Pyrénéen footpath is not for the faint of heart. It is 800 kilometers long with an elevation change of 52,000 meters. To walk it from beginning to end, you would need at least 45 days. 12. Bayonne. This Basque French city as Bayonne is famous for two very different things, its chocolate and for being the birthplace of the bayonet. You can catch up on the history of the second one in the local museum before heading to Bayonne Chocolate Street. Yes, that's a real thing, to try chocolate that's still made using a 17th century recipe. The beautiful 13th century cathedral, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and its cloisters are also worth a visit. The oldest part of the city, Grand Bayonne, offers great shopping, while Petit Bayonne has museums and lively bars to offer. The Fêtes de Bayonne festival in August attracts visitors from all over France. (13) Bordeaux. The port city of Bordeaux is often referred to as the world capital of wine. With one of the world's largest wine festivals, Vinexpo / hillsides covered in vineyards, and wineries offering great tastings, it's no surprise wine is one of the main reasons visitors come here. But Bordeaux is also home to over 300 historical monuments and landmarks, including the 1700s Place de la Bourse, the Opera House Grand Théâtre de Bordeaux, and a number of Roman ruins. Other things to do in Bordeaux include biking along the Garonne River, visiting the l'Abbaye Sous-Marine Art Venue, and stopping by Cité du Vin, the world's largest wine museum. 14. Toulouse. Toulouse is often called La Ville Rose, the Pink City, because many of the buildings in its old town are made of pale terracotta bricks that look pinkish in the sunlight. But the colorful city also has plenty of buildings painted in blues, violets, and oranges, making for a charming, lively view as you walk its winding streets. The city is home to over 160 parks, a great destination for food lovers, and filled with architectural heritage and cultural attractions. Plus beaches, mountains and vineyards are all within a few hours from the city. 15. Cannes. Most famous for hosting the Cannes Film Festival, Cannes is also a hot destination for the rich and famous. Visitors come here for the Michelin star restaurants, the luxury hotels, and the high-end parties that attract A-listers. You don't have to spend a lot to enjoy Cannes, though. There are plenty of beaches to visit here, many public, which means free, so you can get plenty of sun and sea without breaking the bank. La Croisette Promenade is flanked by golden sands on one side and luxury fashion shops on the other, a great place to be even if you're just window shopping. In town, stop by the Le Marché for Ville food market to grab some cheese, snacks or flowers. 16. Marseille. Marseille is France's oldest city, so expect to find amazing architecture when visiting. A good example is the 19th century Notre Dame de la Garde Basilica, which sits on a hill and offers amazing views over the city. With hot, sunny weather and not much rain during the year, it's no surprise that Marseille's beaches are a top attraction. The Plage des Catalans, main city in town, and the Plage du Prophète, filled with activities. You'll find plenty of opportunities for sailing and windsurfing on the shoreline too. Great day trips from Marseille include a visit to the Parc National des Calanques for some swimming in beautiful beaches, a stop in Avignon to discover its many cultural delights, or an escape to Nice to experience the French Riviera in all its splendor. 17. Strasbourg. Once part of the German Empire, which explains the city's German name, Strasbourg has been part of France since the end of World War I. A major commercial and cultural destination, Strasbourg has plenty to offer to visitors, from great shopping to amazing Alsatian cuisine to an old town filled with medieval half-timbered houses. There's also the Cathédrale de Notre Dame de Strasbourg, Europe's tallest medieval building. The spire reaches 142 meters high, and La Petite France area, a historic quarter with beautiful canals cutting through it. Take a boat ride on the canals, explore some of the local museums, including the former Fort Rapp-Moltke and the stunning Musée des Beaux-Arts, and grab some art to take home. Strasbourg has plenty of great art galleries. 18. Honfleur. Located in the heart of Normandy, Honfleur is a charming town filled with half-timbered houses, cobblestone streets, and a beautiful old port, Le Vieux Bassin, that's been used for over 2,500 years. The 15th century St. Catherine's Church is one of the main landmarks here, but visitors should also stop by the cable-stayed Normandy Bridge, and the Eugène Bodin Museum, dedicated to the famous local painter. There are also plenty of art galleries and great restaurants to explore as well. 19. Avignon. Avignon is mainly known for its significant historical heritage. In the 14th century, Avignon was the center of Christianity, as popes lived here to escape the rampant corruption happening in Rome at the time. Today, you can visit Le Palais des Papes, the massive 15,000 square meters fortress they called home for many decades. If you visit in July, don't miss out the International Theatre Festival set inside the palace. Many structures in Avignon have been declared UNESCO World Heritage Sites, including the Palace, the Petit Palais Museum, the Cathedral des Dames, and the Avignon Bridge. 20. Overseas France. Feel like jetting off away to the Caribbean or Indian Ocean? France has plenty of overseas territories filled with lush vegetation, tropical beaches, and breathtaking views. French Polynesia is made up of 118 islands including Tahiti with its volcanic black sand beaches and some of the best surfing you'll find in the area. Looking for adventure and excitement? There are plenty of things to do in Bora Bora in addition to enjoying its stunning lagoons and marina life. In the Caribbean Sea, the French islands of Martinique, Saint Martin, and Guadeloupe are the most visited. Martinique in particular is famous for its rich Creole cuisine, cultural heritage, and stunning beaches. In the Indian Ocean, Reunion Island and Mayotte are two beautiful tropical destinations. Final thoughts. Hope you've enjoyed our list of some of the most amazing places to visit in France. Whether you're visiting for a weekend or a couple of weeks, you'll find plenty of ideas here to help you plan your trip. Have you visited any of these places or have something else to add to the list? Let us know in the comments below.